yeah. We won't be working on the event since this account is kind of forbidden from working on events. So even though we are in the middle of the Easter event, that is not going to be the focus of the stream. Anyways, to where we left off with the last stream on this, even though since it was a while ago, I will refresh you guys. We managed to go ahead and get up to Volcano in main hub, working through Finsley and also still with working on what's his name? Hans, because we need to do him. Yes, I did click start stream. All right. So where we left off was working on Hans and Finsley, and we finally got to Volcano, which went ahead and unlocked a whole lot of new quest lines that we need to work on, including Ghost Hunter Blaze and actually it's just Ghost Hunter Blaze and Ghost Hunter Luna. But yeah, so now we have all 5 of these quests in our inventory. We have Dylan and then the other 4 that I've mentioned. Dylan we kind of need to work on eventually, but isn't going to be a priority. So yeah, to begin off this stream, we'll be going ahead and starting with the mines lobby and retrieving the clue for Luna, since Luna is probably the easiest quest to work on at this moment. Once we got to a point in her quest where she does start to become hard, we'll go ahead and switch over to working on Finsley. Yeah, okay, let me check something really quick. I'm not, like, accidentally using, like, way too much resources somewhere. Opening Task Manager. Alright, looks like we are doing stuff. Yeah, I don't know why it's super laggy done this time. Alright, whatever. Well, hello, Jazzy. Anyways, just checking stuff to make sure OBS is still working, because I know sometimes I've started streams and it's like skip frames due to encoding lag like 100%, and that's not great. But yeah, we'll go ahead and start working on Luna, because that's our next progression point. I really should have just done this offline and then made a video. Oh well. Yeah, I think you're the only one here, for whatever reason. Also, why is this super laggy? Like, seriously, Roblox, why? Oh, okay. Hello. Luby, hello, 5-star. Frame rate's not great right now. Alright, hopefully we can finish this lobby, or obby, before my frame rate goes back down to 5. Alright, there we go. Got ahead, completed the first quest of Luna's. We'll probably go ahead and get all the way or at least enough through Luna to, I think she gets to some item quests later, which we'll probably get kind of stuck on because they do require quite a bit of items for us. So what's the next boss? Next boss is Alien. Yeah, okay, we won't server hop for that. I think we'll go ahead and go work on Finsley then. Because for Ghost Runner Blaze, we need to get Chroma Vac and Pack. For Luna, we need to go defeat the dragon boss. And then for Hans, we need to get up into the ice caves. So I think that next progression point, unless we can, like, for some reason afford Chroma Pack, which we are nowhere near, would be to go ahead and work on a few more quests from Finsley. So we'll go ahead and do that. Blaze, Finsley. Use jetpack. Yeah, no, this is my new account. This has no jetpack. We will be getting to the jetpack eventually, but we still have to get through the rest of these quests in main hub, and then all of Ghost World, and then a little bit of backdoor before we even have access to jetpack. So it'll be a little while. I have not got the 350 mythical Easter mythicals, especially not on this account. So yeah. Also, I don't have multiple streams. I'm so used to the playing on my main that I forgot that I don't have that on this account. But anyways, we'll be going ahead and you started a hard mode account. This is the thing is, it starts off very slow, very like normal Ghost Simulator. Like you're going through the. Oh, I don't have the timer on. Oh well. Do you guys care about a timer? I know I left off around like the 6 hour and like 10-minute mark or something. I could hook one up, but I think at this point it's. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and start a poll, I guess, for that. Boom. Hello. Anyways, yeah, at this point we have kind of hit the first like roadblock of this actual challenge. Like beforehand we were kind of just at a point where we're kind of playing it through like a normal player would without access to codes or events or anything like that. But now we are kind of at that point where we are actually limited to where we can progress. Normally a player would be going ahead and just hopping into the Ghost World and like skipping Blaze and Luna. Yeah, you can get the first crate quite easily. And the second crate's actually pretty easy too with the race loot bags. Race loot bags are really overpowered for this challenge, I've figured out. But actually one of the things that is great, in the last update to Ghost Simulator, they went ahead and changed how converters work. So actually at this point I can actually grind for gems, which is the funny thing. So no longer are we completely reliant on race loot bags for our gems. We can actually go to the converter once we get some bigger packs, because kind of are limited right now. But also our frame rate. What in the world are you doing, PC? Yeah, no, the converter change is, the converter change is not great for endgame, but for new players, it's really good. Also, can I just have my frames back finally? Like, I know you like giving me 999 ping, but I do not appreciate having 999 ping. But the thing about the converters changes, I know I've mentioned this earlier and in other places, it's actually still better than what we had before Remnant World came out. And since a lot of people got the rebirths for like Tycoons and stuff before Remnant World came out, I guess we're just playing at 2 FPS now, which is absolutely great. But yeah. The thing is, endgame was getting like super easy. Like, Before Remnant World came out, classifieds were actually really difficult to get. Stuff like Cosmic Wing, like literally only the best of the best had Cosmic Wing. And then as Remnant Worlds came out with bigger and bigger backpacks, it actually became super easy for anyone to get classifieds like Cosmic Wing, Sandstorm. And so like literally everyone had them. They were pretty much worthless. And the stats that they provided basically made everything else obsolete in the game, just because they were so easy to get or trade for or whatever. So it kind of makes sense that they made that harder again. I know a lot of new players or a lot of old players were grinding for them, and like literally feels like we got completely had that door shut on us. Like, nope, you can no longer grind in Ghost Simulator. But when you look at how easy it was to get classifieds, and the fact that like this is still actually easier to get classifieds than before Remnant World came out, it's actually kind of a sensible nerf in some respects. Like it balances out what the Remnant World kind of did with the game-breaking pack size. A lot of people were expecting the Remnant World, when it did come out with packs and stuff, for it to be just like a different system, like the batteries and disruptors were for Backdoor. So kind of more or less did that, but a little bit late. So did kind of feel like it broke a lot of stuff, but overall it was actually pretty balanced. I couldn't even unbox a single one, bro. Your only ones from a giveaway. Yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of people that couldn't grind classifieds even with how easy it was. Either because of luck or just because they didn't put in time, or it was required a lot of time that they didn't have. But like, when you realize how easy it was for someone like me to get a classified, like I had a reasonable amount of time into the game, but like I could literally get enough gems for a classified with like a Sandstorm, for instance, in like 20 bosses or something, which was about 40 minutes of grinding, with server hopping and everything like that. So it was getting a bit ridiculous. Yeah, wow, literally more people don't care about the timer. Okay, that's good. I don't really want to set up a timer, to be honest. But yeah. Yeah, I understand, like, right now, though, there is some problems with them changing it like that. I think one of the most obvious problems is the fact that people that grinded gems before still have those gems. So, like, as they release the new classifieds, like, the endgame people already have trillions of gems. And so it isn't, like, they'll be able to instantly get the classifieds, whereas everyone else is still going to struggle for them. But eventually it'll balance out to be pretty fair. The thing about people with gems already is that they can't rebirth with those gems. You lose your gems when you rebirth. So even if you have trillions of gems, if they make like Remnant World good or something for grinding gems, if you want to grind more gems, you're gonna have to rebirth to get like Remnant Tycoons if those come out. And if Remnant Tycoons come out, pretty much everyone with gems already will either have to use all their gems before they can rebirth to grind more gems. And yeah, even if they do have trillions, it will get them a few classifieds, but at the same time, like, eventually classifieds will be back to the pretty good value that they were beforehand. I feel so bad for the people with 100 plus rebirths. The thing you have to realize is that they've already got like a whole lot of time to use those rebirths. So like, even if you've gone like 100 rebirths into Tycoons, unless you got 100 rebirths in Tycoons and didn't grind any, and then the update dropped right when you're about to grind, you're actually not going to be all that negatively affected by it, because you already had a year or so to grind with it. You already got some gems, you already got some classifieds, more likely than not. Yeah. Rebirths are pointless now, really, though? No, actually. Rebirths are just as useful as they were before. The best way to grind gems is still either from, well, it's either grinding Ghost World or Main Hub bosses, like it has been before. Or you can actually now maybe use Glitchy Rift Gum or Enchanted Rift Gum maybe, in a lot of loot bags to grind gems. But even as it stands, Tycoons and grinding Main Hub or Ghost World currency is just as good as it was before Remnant World came out. or actually better, than when Remnant World came out. And since most people were actually grinding Tycoons prior to when Remnant World came out, and it's now better than them, it's actually still worth it to have those Tycoons, just because you are getting 10 times less gems. Don't get me wrong, it is kind of a nerf to those Tycoons, but at the same time, you can still get those gems from that. It's just 10 times slower, so you're going to have to either grind 10 times longer. Yeah, they'll be eventually adding a converter to Remnant Zone. I understand they want to have like a seamless transition, but we're going to have at least 2 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. A few updates where we aren't going to have either of those stuff, which honestly isn't too bad. But yeah. Yeah, it definitely has pushed a lot of the grinders for like leaderboard and stuff into the I should have joined that race. Oh, I still can. It has pushed a lot of the people grinding for like gem or grinding for leaderboard and stuff into Remnant Zone, which is kind of good. I think that's kind of what the devs are wanting. We're also not going to be worrying about coins here. Just because, like, winning the race is way more important than getting those coins. The coins are kind of useless. But yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people have that same feeling where it was too much. And I understand that. It literally goes from being, like, easy to get a classified and, like, actually people being able to, like, achieve something in Ghost Simulator, over to being unable to what feels like do anything, just because it does feel so big. Oh, we got second. Oh yeah, the other person was probably using some sort of gun, so you couldn't see them. Anyways, we will probably instantly open that. There's really no reason to save it. 12,000 gems, we'll take it. But yeah, no, in some ways it's, coins would be more useful if you couldn't use crate keys on the race crate. Not gonna lie, I suggested like 3 things to do with those race crates before they came out. Devs were unable to implement them, so we got what we have right now. Yeah, they are a mess, I agree. It would be much better if they weren't allowed to use crate keys on them. I definitely agree that crate keys kind of break the point of race coins. Race coins are pretty much pointless as it stands. But yeah, really 10 times nerf. Let me put it this way. A 10 times nerf actually just means you need to spend 3 times longer grinding. You get 3 times more Tycoons than you have already. So if you have like 10 Tycoons already and you're able to get classifieds, this is my situation currently. If I go up to 30 Tycoons, then grind 3 times longer for a classified, I'll be able to get classified in that amount of time, which isn't actually too bad when you put it that way, because like, oh yeah, I mean, I can get, that's 20 more rebirths I need to get, which, yeah, that's going to be, what, like 100 hours of gameplay, which is quite a bit, but like, I don't know, it's still achievable if you put in the time. Imagine they add a classified to race crates. They do not have plans at this moment to add classifieds to race crates, and if they do, it'll be very similar to what Chroma Float is currently, where people just unbox it with crate keys until they actually nerf how crate keys work. But once they do nerf being able to unbox that with crate keys, they'll probably buff the amount of race coins you get or nerf the cost of the crate or something, just to make all that stuff actually obtainable. Because as it stands right now, it's actually really difficult to actually grind one crate, let alone the thousands needed for a classified. So yeah, if they do remove the ability to use crate keys, I would imagine that the coins will get increased, or the price of the crate will decrease. Yeah. Also, if you don't know, double boss drops works on the coins you get. So if you have double boss drops and you use something like gum on it, you can actually get like 8 times the amount of coins you'd normally get, which is kind of stupid and broken in my opinion. But if you really need to grind keys, and you have boss gum plenty, you can do that for it. I wouldn't recommend it. It is a very inefficient way to use your crate keys, or use your boss gum, but yeah, it is definitely a way. But anyways, on my main account, I do need to grind for some more events. I want to get at least one of the 350 mythicals before the event ends. And I know, like, right now I'm kind of slacking on that actual goal, because truth be told, it is kind of grindy to grind that event. I honestly haven't been super motivated to do it either, but yeah, it is kind of a pain. Also, it's taking like all my willpower not to join like an invasion event every time they pop up, just because I'm like so used to, oh, I need to get keys or grind 8 eggs, where I forget that I'm on my hard mode account and doing events is kind of not allowed. Yep, there was a bug. Abusing bugs like that can get you banned in Ghost Simulator, or not banned, but can result in some punishment if you do it too much. But the thing is, like, there really wasn't too much harm. It was up for like 2 hours or so. Also, this weird bug when someone's using gum on their side, they are just kind of frozen in place on everyone else's screen. Also, they are taking like all my ghosts, so that's kind of annoying. A game is meant to be fun, and I feel like this update has made it impossible for me anyways. I have like 10 times sold Tycoons in the times 2 Game Pass, and I only make 7 million from 1 Grim. Yeah, I know it's kind of a nerf. It is a pretty big nerf to that. But the thing is, I'm probably an older player than most of you guys. There might be someone in chat that's been playing longer than I have. But like, before Remnant Zone came out, there was a lot of people still grinding for the classifieds endgame. And it was a lot more of an achievement to get like classifieds. So like people with them felt a lot more accomplished. Also, I do need to be focusing on getting some of these because I do need some diamonds. But yeah. Does this not break the hard mode rule where people can't help vacuum ghosts? Do I have that in the hard mode rules? That people can't help me vacuum ghosts? I just have it so that people can't... If I do have anything about people, more so on the fact that, like... Yeah, I don't know exactly what I said, but... Okay, you're literally taking all the ghosts that I'm vacuuming and ignoring, like, the ones I'm not, which is kind of funny. Like, he grabbed both those two where I was at and then ignored this one. Anyways, I do need diamonds. Yeah, no, that never was in there, I don't think. I haven't actually edited that in since I created it on the first stream, so I don't think I have it. I do have a point where I don't want people like specifically helping me, like shooting ghosts or anything like that. But like competing over ghosts like this is not really bad. Also, yeah, it's more of people taking my ghost than anything. That's kind of annoying. Do I still remember you? Yeah, you've actually showed up to a few of my previous streams, Luby. Anyways. Yeah, some nerf was needed. I do agree the way that they did it didn't really explain it to new players, and I don't know. It also was done in a way that I think that not many people noticed that there was actually a nerf, which is really confusing for a lot of players. Where like, oh, why am I getting so much less gems than before? And it wasn't really explicitly stated. People didn't really get notification about it. Yeah. Overall, it wasn't great, but. Okay. I really do hope they fix this gum bug soon, because, like, when people freeze while using a gum, it gets really annoying. Okay, you're going to be up there, which means this ghost will respawn and you won't notice it. Also, they're literally taking all my ghosts. I saw someone suggest something good, which is automatically equip the best pack from the world when you join. So, for example, you go to Ghost World, it auto-equips the raid pack. Yeah, I understand that idea. The problem with that is I like to have a bigger backpack than the world it's in. So, like, when grinding in Ghost World, it'd be, or especially like Main Hub or something. I like to have a bigger backpack so I can kind of just overfill and overfill and overfill. So instead of having to sell like. So like every like 5 seconds because I'm grinding ghosts or something, you can actually just kind of casually fill up your thing in pretty much infinitely in Main Hub or something. You don't actually have to worry about it. And with like bosses, being able to grind multiple bosses without having to sell is kind of a nice perk. I don't think too many people are doing it, and it doesn't really matter. But being able to do overfill is kind of nice. Yeah, how would you be able to use the pack from Remnant Zone there? Like, that doesn't quite work that way. You'd have to, you'd either have to switch over a world and it'd only be the first time you switch into like Main Hub or Ghost World or something like that. Which, really adding a clause for that is kind of just as easy as explaining it to the player with like a pop-up or something. Or you'd have to go ahead and make it every time they join, at which point, like, if they grab, like, the Remnant World pack, how are they going to get the Remnant World pack into Main Hub? Like, the second they join Main Hub, it'd be swapped back to the regular pack. Like, I understand the suggestion of, like, oh, yeah, you're capped at this pack to this world. Sort of idea that would make sense to everyone. But at the same time, I don't think it, I don't think it would actually accomplish that by letting people know they're capped at that for this world. I think it's more of a... I think it'd just be more of a nuisance for endgame players not being able to, like, just fill infinitely. But yeah. Yeah, I do feel like... I do understand the idea that the nerf was quite big. My personal opinion... actually, I've already stated my personal opinion about it being probably... Okay, my personal opinion is that it's still better than it was before Remnant Worlds came out. So it's more of just balancing it back down to a reasonable amount. But yeah, I do understand that, like, a lot of people that were able to grind classifieds no longer have that opportunity. And that was kind of one of the biggest things that people were actually doing before this update, was grinding gems for classifieds. That was probably one of the things that people spent the most time on this game, just because like everything else kind of has felt dead for a while. Like quests, there's been really no quest progression in the game. What else is there really to do other than grind for classifieds? Like literally gems has been the only reason to play the game is recently. And then having that taken away from you feels like really bad. I understand that. It's one of those things where it's been worse in the past and no one's complained. So I don't know. So it should be fine for people, but at the same time, yeah, I'm conflicted on that. I understand both sides, really. It's a pain to have that taken away, but at the same time, it was kind of necessary for the game balance. It makes classifieds actually a little bit more worthwhile instead of just being something that everyone has. Yeah. There will be more Easter grinding streams. Yeah, I really do need to do some more Easter grinding streams. Right now I'm sitting at like 230 or something keys. I need to get up to 350 at some point just to get one of those mythicals, at least. And then I also need to do some more racing for maybe some Easter racing loot bags. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I need to do, and honestly, I don't really feel like I have time. I know I do have time because like I spend a lot of my time playing just games offline. So just switching over to like recording those or streaming those or something would be fine. But like I also do have homework and stuff that does kind of stress me out and then cause me to be like, oh yeah, I need to do this, and then I don't do it instead just play games. But yeah. All right. How long do you guys think it would take me to set up a timer? Let's see. Let's see if that actually works. But yeah, one of the benefits of that, or I know I've said this before, is that like new players can actually grind gems now. Like before this update, it was pretty much impossible to grind gems until you got maxed out in Ghost World. Now people can actually grind gems once they get maxed out in Main Hub, which is really good if you're wanting to go grind for like godlies or stuff. Because like beforehand, it pretty much was impossible to get any reasonable amount of gems. Okay, I'm still not getting a reasonable amount of gems, but you know. Oh. That's stupid. The gems I got before. But yeah, as you guys can see, like, now I can actually get some gems, like this ratio versus this ratio on this account, especially. You guys can kind of... You can see that it is actually really feasible for me to actually grind gems now with this new update, which is actually one of the benefits of it. And if this was like 5 times easier or something, that would translate into kind of a game-breaking amount of gems for new players in some scenarios. I wouldn't say it's super game-breaking, but like you can imagine if a new player is able to get like 20,000 gems with one boss now, they'd be able to get if it was 5 times that, 100,000 gems, which is a lot of gems for a new player. But yeah, why would new players need to unbox godlies when they have card pets? Yeah, that is a fair point. Code stats are kind of broken at this point in time. Let's see. Oh, that's funny. We have timer. All right, whatever. That's close enough to correct. Yeah, I know new players don't need godlies, but like, it's really nice for like this account or new players that aren't using codes or stuff to be able to actually get progression in the game. And eventually, like, a long-term goal of mine is to see Go Simulator actually have good stat progression, because right now stat progression, or right now as in before the last update, stat progression pretty much went Code Pets to Adam to Lucky Cats to endgame classifieds. That was literally the only stat progression in the game. There was really no reason to get anything in between that. Now you're at least kind of incentivized to go from Lucky Cats to something in between, like Cosmic Wing or something, or Corrupted or something like that, just in between getting Lucky Cats and like Sandstorm, just for a little bit more of that boost. It's really not super incentive. I would like some other changes, like I don't know, removal of code items or something. But yeah, don't forget Divine Pets. Did I say it? Yeah, whatever. I think that's what I meant when I said Corrupted was Divines. But honestly, Divines aren't super worthwhile ever, really. But people might end up going for them a little bit more now that classifieds are a little bit harder to get. That's not the reason for the change, and I don't know how much that will actually be affected. But you know, stat progression is definitely not hurt by making classifieds a little bit harder to get. But yeah, a few more changes to the mid game could also be nice for stat progression. Removal of code pets I think would be decent. Not like removal, but like nerfing them a little bit, or something else just to make it a little bit less, little less easy for new players to get good stats. I mean, also you'd probably want to make early game a lot easier in the game too. Just because, like, as it stands right now, early game of Go Simulator is like super difficult. Like you guys can see, we're about 6 hours in. We are not all that far into the game at this point. We have Crab Boss and Volcano Boss, but yeah, we aren't all that far into this game, but like old players are pretty much getting through like every quest that get added to the game in about an hour or so, whereas new players are taking over 2.5 hours to get through the earliest quests in the game. So you guys can kind of understand why there needs to be a little bit of balance there for new players. It shouldn't be this difficult for a new player to get into the game. In theory, players should be able to get through the first area of the game faster than they can get through the last area of the game, which is currently not how it works. Currently, it's a lot faster once you get endgame to get through stuff like Remnant Zone than it is for people to get through Main Hub, which is a bit ridiculous if you ask me. Also, we're doing a race now. Yeah, no, okay, this racing loot bag only gives you boards and stuff, so it should be fine for me to go ahead and unbox. Boards, gems, crate keys. It's pretty much a normal racing loot bag, except for with Easter items. Also, we got like the straightest path possible on this. Oh, I just realized we have jetpack. We literally have jetpack in here. I didn't even notice it because I'm so used to doing races with jetpack. But like, we had jetpack during that race. That's kind of weird that you do get jetpack for free while doing a race. It's not like it's game breaking or anything, because like you don't get it afterwards. It does make the races actually tolerable for new players, but like, yeah, kind of interesting that they do that. See, you do have jetpack. Yeah, guys. I went all the way up to back door, got my jetpack, then reset myself all the way down, so I don't even so I barely have access to Ghost World. Yeah, I'm definitely cheating on this playthrough. Anyways, let's go see what we get. 7,000 gems. Yeah, that was definitely a worthwhile race. Seriousness. All right, there we go. We do have the gem or diamonds we need. Then we'll go ahead and grab the pharaohs and bandits. I don't know, what streams do you guys prefer? These like hard mode streams where I'm doing something a little bit different, or like the actual grinding streams where I'm working like Easter event, or other stuff on like my main account? Because I don't know, I feel like doing more of these less grindy streams where I'm doing something a little bit different. But I also realize like working on my main account is actually more interesting in some respects, because I'm actually doing stuff faster. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys prefer? These kind of streams where I'm doing more stuff on my alts, a little bit slower, or my main stuff? Don't like the Easter event. My favorite series was 100%. Yeah, that 100% series, I really like that one. That was. It's really satisfying to look into my inventory and see 100% every once in a while, or every time I open it. Even if like in some respects it is kind of weird how all those 100% work, like needing to buy Robux items, all that other confusing stuff that goes into it. But yeah, it is kind of nice. I was planning on making a video on that 100% on how to get 100% for yourself. But at this point, I think it's a bit too late for that, and like really, I didn't feel like editing it, to be honest. It was getting to quite a pain. Be quite a pain to work on. Alright. 4 more bandit ghosts and 15 more pharaoh ghosts, and we're good to go. Also, I didn't realize how long it actually takes to vacuum these ghosts from the pyramid. Like these aren't like instant vacuums. Like it feels like we are going to a previous area with this quest, but like with how long it is taking to vacuum these pharaohs, they might as well have just said like a current area. Also, frame rates are really annoying right now. I actually can't wait until we actually do get Finsley done, because I really like being able to vacuum multiple ghosts at a time. It's not happening too much anymore, but like right when we started, I'd be doing a lot of clicking on multiple ghosts at a time and expecting them all to be vacuumed, and then just stopping myself in my tracks, because like clicking on another ghost when you don't have multiple streams just cancels them all, which is kind of an annoying feature. I wish it did something different, but you know, it's how the games work, so can't complain too much about it. Alright, 4 more Pharaoh Ghosts, and then we can move on to the next quest on Finsley. Actually, once we move on to the next quest of Finsley, we really only have 2 more quests to complete for it, or... Nah, we probably have a few more where we are required to go back to previous areas. But yeah, this is kind of the third to last set of ghosts, or third area of Finsley, so we'll be moving on to the 4th area quest, and then going to be working on the conclusion quest. For those of you guys who haven't realized this yet, like most of the progression quests in Ghost Simulator are broken up into like a set of quests for each area, plus some conclusion quests where you do kind of all the areas. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Also, we'll go ahead and unlock this because we can, and then we'll go ahead and hopefully collect these gems to get the 3,000 gems from anywhere. Here's the share of loot. Gems. Deckhand. We don't want any Scalalag. We want to be the best. Open pet box 3 and return to me. Alright. It's actually interesting. Right now we do have quite a bit of gems for unboxing pet crate 3. Actually, where have we got this many gems? I thought we started off the stream with like 6,000 gems, and it isn't like we've converted or anything. We've only opened like 2 race loot bags for like 20,000 gems. Are we actually getting a reasonable amount of gems from like ghost drops or something? Because if so, that's actually kind of nice. Alright. We still do need to, at some point, do Dylan before we move on to, Ghost World, though, so it'll be interesting to see where we're at that quest when we do finish up all of Luna, Blaze, and Finsley. Alright, anyways. The grinding, okay, we're going to go ahead and sell because it looks like right now we are pretty much full on our backpack, and I don't want to be vacuuming ghosts for that long and then not get any ectoplasm reward from it, because these ghosts actually give you a decent amount of ectoplasm per. Space shuttle. It isn't Light Warp like the rarest, no, like the second rarest classified board or something at this point, where it's actually like super valuable. Have you missed much? You have missed a few ghosts being grinded in Volcano. I've moved on a few quests on Finsley. So no, you really haven't missed too much. I mean, we are working on Luna and yeah, Luna right now too, where we're kind of waiting for a dragon boss. Because next boss up should be a crab boss, and then we have one after that. So in about 30 minutes or so, we should actually have a mini mag or mag boss to go defeat. So do we have any? No, we don't have any. But yeah, we have unlocked the ice cave, so we are working on ghosts from there for actually for Hans and Finsley, I guess. Because we do need ice tusks for Hans eventually. But yeah. Oh, I'm getting gems from quests. I was trying to figure out where I was getting so many gems from. I'm getting so many gems from the quests I'm completing for like Finsley and Luna. Each quest gives like 2 to 5,000 gems. So yeah, that's why it feels like I have so many gems right now. Yeah, it's not gem drops from ghosts. Gem drops from ghosts are pretty much useless. Still, like what am I going to do with 100 gems? What am I going to do with 100 gems times 100 even at this point? I mean, yeah. Alright, I think we can actually go ahead and buy a bigger pack at this point. No, okay, not quite yet. Actually, what are we better off buying? A pack or a vacuum, actually? Alright, this doesn't even double our vacuum rate. This over doubles our pack rate. So we'll probably end up buying the pack first. Just because it's a bit more of an upgrade than the vacuum is. How are we actually pet-wise? Alright. That looks good. Yeah. Pack is definitely better in this scenario. Especially since we are going to be doing a boss at some point, so having a little bit more capacity for a boss is going to be really helpful. How many tusks do we need for Hans? About 24 more tusks. Okay. Well, exactly 24, but you guys know what I mean. Also, I'm always reminded about how slow starting the game is. I'm so used to being at the point where I can one-shot pretty much everything with my pets on my main account that, like, not one-shotting ghosts is actually kind of painful for me. Like, yeah, there's only, I think, one ghost that I don't one-shot on my main account at this point. And that's going to be the Ram ghost in the Agents HQ and Backdoor. Like, every other ghost in the game at this point, I one-shot. Other than the ones that do have the cap speed where, like, event ghosts and stuff where you do always vacuum it at the same speed regardless of your pets. But yeah. It's kind of slow. I mean, I guess all of early game of Ghost Simulator is kind of slow. 18% game completion right now, which is this feels like a lot of game completion, because we aren't even like, actually it's a reasonable amount, I guess, but like 18% feels like a lot starting out. Those aren't ghosts, those are bosses. I know they are ghosts, but like they aren't like regular ghosts like what I'm talking about. Anyways, my point still stands that this feels super slow. Yeah, I guess if we get like ancient tusks from this ghost, we should be able to move on from Hans, which is going to be nice because he does give some gums. Oh yeah, I was going to go upgrade my pack. Alright, we'll go ahead and upgrade that pack. Yeah, the interesting thing is that for Blaze, we do need to get up to the Chroma pack and back. Which will take actually quite a bit of time, just because they are so expensive. Yeah, we should be able to do that, I think, before we finish up Luna, just because we do need so many items for Luna. It's going to be kind of slow for her. But yeah, Blaze might end up being the quest that we're stuck on for moving on from main hub, so we'll see about that. Oh, this is actually a pretty empty server. Occasionally Roblox servers get like this where they only lose people, like they don't allow new players to join it randomly. So you just get into the server where it's like dying and dying people, and you just keep on playing and playing, and then there's like no one in the same server as you, just naturally speaking. Seeing how long this quest and others of Finsley and how slow your vacuum is gives me so much pain, and I'm not even the one doing it. Yeah, you are right. It is kind of a pain to be doing one ghost at a time for this slow, but I don't actually think there's too much that we can even do about that. Like, yeah, even if, I guess, Yeah, there's not really any other pets to upgrade to. Actually, finishing up Luna wouldn't be too bad. What would it do? Oh, please tell me that it uses up your old Ecto tokens before it uses up your new ones. Actually, I want to see this. I really want to know what happens now that I've like used some Ecto tokens and now I'm going to be using a converter. Because it would be really funny if it does something like completely weird, like negative number or something. Even split. That's something I need to test at some point. I could put on some music, see what my music tastes like. I actually do have some music I've downloaded from YouTube that I play occasionally. I think I double opened my file explorer, which is not what I intended to do. Also, for some reason, every time I do something like that, it closes Roblox, so I don't know what that's translating to you guys, like if the audio's cutting out or anything like that. Oh yeah, I don't have like heavy armor, I can't just AFK bosses. Let's see. Music. My computer's struggling to have like 4 tabs open at the same time. You know, I definitely don't need an upgrade to my PC. Alright, there we go. Actually, do we have XCOM or anything like that? We do not have XCOM or anything like that. Alright, whatever. We'll just sell. Alright, why do you keep opening in that window? I want you opened over here. Alright, watch just like blast out our eardrums immediately. Music. Alright. Is that about the correct volume? Maybe a little bit too loud, but whatever. At this point, I don't really care. You guys asked for some music. Now, this is just a lot of random music I've downloaded from YouTube for like playing over in like videos and stuff. Okay, it's a bit loud. Let's do that. You guys probably didn't even notice the volume change, but hopefully it's a little bit better. Have I ever read a message in chat out loud multiple times without realizing you've already answered that question? Almost certainly. That's one of the things, like, it's kind of just habit me doing the same things over and over sometimes during these streams, so if I might end up acknowledging someone like multiple times or not realizing I have or something like that. It almost certainly has happened before. This game has so little players that I can actually easily find your server. Yeah, Ghost Simulator is definitely a little bit on the lower side of the player rates. And it's really hard to say why that is, because at one point it was super popular. I mean, my opinion and my guess would be that it's something to do with how hard the games become for new players, whereas like endgame just becomes easier and easier. So there's no like difficulty curve. It's kind of a opposite difficulty curve where it's really hard for new players to get in, but once they get in, it just becomes way too easy that it gets boring or something. But like a lot of people have their own opinion on that, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if one of them is way more correct than mine is, even if I do dismiss it out of hand. But yeah, that's the interesting thing about its current player rates. Like 100 active players for like games isn't actually that bad for like non-Roblox games. Like we see a lot of Roblox games which they have like 10 or 20,000 active players out at a time. I don't know what the current most popular games on Roblox are at, but like we're really used to those numbers in like Roblox. But like in terms of active players, 100 active players in the game at all points isn't actually too low in terms of like other games. It isn't great, but like there's a lot of games with less players in this that still do stuff. But yeah, I definitely hope that customer does get a little bit bigger soon. I don't know what would do that though, other than like blanket good updates. Okay, let's go turn in Hans, because I think next quest for Hans does give me like a boss gum or something, or if I remember correctly, and then we're pretty much done with this quest. Or at the very least, it is at least some quest progression, because we've been stuck on Finsley for like years. Yeah. Basic X gum, that's actually nice. Get 10 gumballs from the machine. Oh, I hate this quest. What does this give me? 1. Yeah, I don't know what to use on that machine. Because I will be needing a lot of items for, like, all of the quests I have left. Not Blaze, but, like, Luna specifically requires you to use a lot of items. Finsley I'm going to need quite a bit of items for. Do we have any basic? Oh, we do have a lot of basic vacuum gum. You know, at this point, we're going to be going ahead and using some basic vacuum gum, because I'm kind of getting bored of vacuuming ghosts. And actually, doubling my speed is actually probably worthwhile for using vacuum gum, because it is pretty much just doubling my grind speed. Maybe not as useful as something like loot gum or X gum or something, but still pretty useful. Yeah, the game's definitely not what it used to be. During like when it first came out, it was like super popular. Like when it first came out, it had a few thousand players. Or I think it reached #1. It had like 10,000 players. Slowly dropped off from there, but it still kept maintained like a few thousand for like the first few events. But yeah, it's definitely slowed down for a while. I don't know why that is, but why exactly that is. But yeah, I don't think there's really nothing to drastically increase the player base really. Like it'd be a slow climb back up if we do find a way to increase the player count. I think I don't see a way to like really get all that much more people excited to play the game. Obviously, there's exceptions like Roblox events where you're at like the the egg hunt or something. Alright, let me just go find that really quick. You going on to a private server? Yes, at this point I'm going on to a private server. You raged? Yeah, no, I just gave up on you guys. You guys have... Alright, there we go. You guys have successfully succeeded in pushing me into a private server. Alright. Let's see. I think it crashed. I think for whatever reason joining a private server made Roblox crash. Alright, there we go. This time it will crash. Probably something to do with it, like having like some other server saved or something, but yeah. Alright, there we go. Hello. Also, what's the next boss? That should not be allowed. I left a server with the mag coming up as the next boss, but it had like an invasion, a race, and another invasion between it. And then literally I hop into a private server and the next boss is the boss I need. So, yeah, that shouldn't be allowed. Yeah, honestly, I was thinking I should probably do this part of like this part of hard mode to like do a video on it rather than a stream. Now I'm thinking I was probably right on that, because like this is actually not the fun part of this challenge at all. I was just wondering why I wasn't using multiple streams. Yeah. I'm still working on Finsley right now. I don't have multiple streams yet. And I haven't rebirthed either, so, yeah. No, soon we'll be able to use multiple streams, but, for now we are stuck in the peasant's way of vacuuming one ghost at a time, slowly and surely marching our way towards our end goal. But yeah, for anyone wondering, this is really why early game really needs, to be nerfed. I know a lot of people are like, oh no, early game! We went through early game. It should be just as hard as it was before. Why should we make it easier for new players? It's already super easy. Yeah, a lot of new players get super bored on early game just because it does get super slow super quickly. A lot of quests require you to vacuum a whole lot of ghosts, and it's slow to vacuum ghosts, and like it is a legitimate problem with how early game works. Nah, just always do streams that they're much better. Yeah, in some ways, yes, but like in other ways, it's like stuff like this is. I'm literally doing the same thing for like 4 hours straight. It's almost better to be in a video, but yeah. Well, I'm not using CodePets. Yeah, the thing is, like, CodePets doesn't make it that much quicker. It does make it quite a bit quicker, but like, if you're using CodePets, you're also kind of ingrained enough in the community to know what codes are, where to find codes, how to join, like, joining the Roblox group and stuff like that. Most people that, I'd wager that, like, most people that play Ghost Simulator don't use CodePets. Just because, like, most people are going to play the game and not worry about CodePets until they get stuck on a quest and then leave. But yeah. That's why we like them. We don't have to pay too much attention. Lovely. So you guys are just watching these streams and just not paying any attention to what's even going on stream? Oh, that's loud. How loud is that? That's fine. I don't need to adjust volume or anything like that. Yeah, if any of the music does get too loud, guys, just let me know. I can adjust stuff pretty easily, I think. Also, is it a problem that Ghost Sim music and other music is playing in the background? Or is that fine? Because I can turn one of them off if you guys want me to. Because, you know. Oh, we literally have a boss right now for us to go grab. And this is one of those bosses I don't want to forget. I do forget that some people do have access to my private server. Well, pretty much everyone does. I do share the private server link to it pretty often. Honestly, if you guys do have my private server link, feel free to use it. Like, it's not one of those things where it hurts me too much by having people use my private server. Too much. I'll make sure I don't fail. Yeah, no, I think I'm at that point where it's already successful. Like, it takes about 2 minutes to defeat the boss, so the fact that I lost a minute by forgetting about the boss isn't going to do too much in terms of, like, actually making me fail the boss. Alright, there we go. Alright, that does mean that we can now move on to the next Twist of Luna, which if I remember correctly is going to be some items. So it's going to give us a pretty good indication of how many items we need spare for like everything. 30 items, okay. Also, this music is definitely way too loud. I don't need you guys to tell me that. There we go. Alright, 25 hammers. 25 hammers is going to be quicker than working on more Finsley, so we're just going to go ahead and do... Distract? No, distract. Yeah, I don't know. Sidetrack ourselves and go grab this stuff. I was waiting for your pack is filled. I forgot that doesn't happen anymore. Yeah, no, that is definitely true. Your pack is filled after a boss is definitely one of the things where you're like, oh yeah, I get to teleport back. You don't have that anymore, which is kind of nice, kind of bad. Being so used to that teleport prompt, it's kind of weird to have it missing. At the same time, not having a full pack is good, because that means that you can now go Vacuum Ghost too, and you aren't going to ever have that problem where we had like a lot before, where you have a boss, you vacuum the boss, and then there's an invasion event up, and you forget to sell. And now you're unable to help during the invasion event, or it happens during like boss events. You fill your inventory with the boss, and now you can't work on the next boss because you joined it without selling. And so yeah, we aren't going to have that problem too much anymore. Hello! Do you guys remember if Luna requires you to get more items from the next areas? Because if she has a cap at 50 per items, it does get pretty easy later on as you get more and more item drops per ghost. But if it does like... The thing is, I'm vacuuming these ghosts so fast, it doesn't even matter if you do damage them, because I'm still getting the full ectoplasm from it and still one-shotting them, so, yeah. But, hello! Again, Ragely. I know you said hi earlier, and I said hello back, but, hello again. Yeah. I don't know if I've said this before, but another reason I'm kind of doing this challenge is to see how like early game is for people who are kind of free to play. Because like it's been a long time since I played through this game on my first playthrough, and I kind of really want to see how difficult it is for new players. Just so I can make better suggestions for how it can be fixed. Because right now I'm seeing a lot of stuff. It's like a lot of quests, like early quests, like Adam are slow. But like Finsley and Jesse have gotten a lot slower than even like Adam was. So, yeah. They really do need big nerfs, I think, through their quest lines, or buffs or whatever. Make their quest lines easier is kind of what I'm trying to say. I don't know whether that's categorized as a buff to their quest line or a nerf to that quest line. I know in some situations a nerf can be called a buff and a buff can be called a nerf. It's literally this where they're interchangeable in some cases. Like if you like nerf a boss or something, if it's a buff to the boss grinding of it. Whereas if you like buff like something good, it's, yeah, I don't know. When you're like buffing an enemy, you're nerfing the player's ability. Whereas sometimes when you're like nerfing something that's helpful for the player, you're nerfing the player directly. Most of the time it's pretty obvious, but yeah, I hope you get what I'm trying to say. What was that Luna question you asked a minute ago? Whether or not the amount of items she requires you to grab from each like successive area actually increases, or if it stays the same. Because I'm gonna get knocked off of here, am I not? All right. Junkyard obby. This is like the hardest obby, if I'm going to be honest. No, this one's not the hard one. The hard one is the one in Block City. With those, okay, I don't know how many of you guys struggled on, like, your first time playing through Ghost Simulator. But, like, those small little, like, teeny tiny platforms, I had struggles with staying on those. Oh, we barely made that jump. Like, with them being so small, you jump, you'd overjump, or you'd underjump. I don't know, I had quite a bit of struggles with that. That specific part. No, this obby's easy. Maybe a few jumps of it are a bit long, but like the first one specifically. But overall, this one's not too bad. Here we go. Second clue. Peace puzzle. I'll send you after other clues soon. The first reward, task, blah, blah, blah. All right, yeah, okay. The amount of items we do need does increase. It was 30 for the first few areas, now it's 50. But overall, this actually shouldn't be too bad. Actually, 50 tires. Why do we need tires? I don't want to go grab tires. Oh, they're all different areas. All right. Number 5 is 50 tires. Number 8 is 80 socks. Okay. So it does increase after the first one, but it doesn't increase after there. The annoying part about this is like how easy it is to get like some of these versus others. Also, we are going to definitely be joining this race. Also, how many of you guys have found the purple coin in here? In the other race, there's a lot of purple coins. I believe in here, there's only actually one purple coin. It may not even spawn every single time. But yeah, inside this caravan, there's sometimes a purple coin in there. Is there anything under the bridge? Oh, that's surprising. But yeah. Not that like anyone actually cares about these coins. They're kind of meaningless, but you know, they do exist. Also, we have a whole lot of volcano boss chests at this point. Let's see. All right, so we can either work on Luna some more, or yeah, let's work a little bit more on this, because we do need to go grab some more. We do need to go grab some more ghosts at some point in earlier areas for this quest anyways, so it may be that those will overlap with the items that we need for Luna. Well, it'll probably be the case. Alright, we're going to go ahead and use more vacuum gum. I thought the coins were always random. They're random within a degree. Like, they're randomized, but, like, there's different rarities of the randomized. So it isn't going to be randomized between yellow and purple. It's going to be randomized between, like, yellow and blue, purple and red, or blue and red. I don't know if all of them are randomized. I think some of them might be always yellow or always purple or something. Or always a specific color. But none of the coins are like completely random. It's usually like randomized either this one or this one, good or bad or whatever. So it isn't like you don't have the chance of getting the really easy ones being purple or the really hard ones only being a yellow. They're going to be within their difficulty range. I'm going to need to switch servers at some point. There we go. Hello. Right now I am working on getting Finsley done. And Luna and Blaze and Towns and Dylan. Basically I'm working on all the last few quests in Main Hub to move on from it in Ghost Simulator. But yeah, it is a bit of a grind with how long the quests are. This one we're actually almost done with. We need 6 more Explorer Ghosts and 1 more Penguin, so actually probably within this don't worry, I'll stop. Thank you, Deadbolt, for being reasonable and not helping me. I'm doing a specific challenge in this where I'm not going to be accepting better pets. The whole point is kind of to see how it is to play through as a new player, without trading, without codes. Otherwise, if I was just playing through it normally, I'd just give myself 3 endgame class vides and breeze through the entire game in like 3 hours. Not quite. It'd take longer than that to actually get through the game. That's the thing about good pets. They don't actually help as much as you think they do. They do help a little bit, but not an insane amount. What's hard mode? It's kind of just a set of challenges I'm playing through the game as. There's a list in the rules, but like no trading, no codes, nothing that makes the game super easy. No like event items. Yeah. You have to do every single quest before you can move on from that area, just so you aren't skipping like lore quests or other useless stuff, with the exception of quests that don't reset when you rebirth. But yeah, it's meant to be a challenge. So the fact it's going kind of slow right now is kind of a good sign. It is kind of annoying though, because I am so used to being able to one-shot ghosts and vacuum 5 ghosts at a time and all those nice little perks that you get from playing through the game the first time, but you know, it is what it is. Alright, there we go. We need 2 more tusks, so if we can get 2 tusks from like this ghost, we're actually like perfect, because this would be like one of the few times you actually manage to get a quest. All of them completed at the same time. Stupid. Oh, it's so stupid how that feels super nice to be able to complete a quest, like each quest in the same amount of time, with instead of it being, oh, this quest will take you 5 minutes. This part of the quest will take you 20 minutes. It's like, oh yay! What's even the point of having that 5-minute part of it? All right. Yikes. 50 explorers, 50 miners, 50 workers. Okay. I'm going to say no on that. I know it's not technically cheating, but we're going to try to avoid as much of that stuff as possible. Maybe I'll add that specifically against the rules. Yeah. Plus, also, I do wonder, how has this changed? Alright, it's still at 2,800. So that number isn't going up. So that's nice. Let's see. What are we doing now? Alright, so Hans, Luna. We probably should work on Luna first, would be my guess. Just because we don't really have too much more for Finsley. Like, our main stopping point at this point for Finsley is going to be 50 Explorer Ghosts, which I don't feel like doing. Oh, also we have these nice little rewards that, we'll go over those rewards probably on my main account at some point, but yeah. Wait, what items do we need for Luna again? Meteorites, tires, and pyramids. Not really pyramids. Alright. That's more meteorites than I get on like my main account with running full glitchy loot gun. Okay, please tell me I'm not like the only one that usually gets super unlucky with like meteorite drops, because I feel like they're one of the rarest items in the game. Just in terms of like their drop chance for whatever reason, like every time I'm playing through this area on my main, I'm spending like 5 minutes out of the 15 minutes you spend in main hub on specifically on meteorite drops. Okay, I don't think it's just 15 minutes in main hub. It's more like, it's like 10 minutes for Adam and like 20 minutes for the rest of it. But yeah, I spend like way more time than it feels like I should in this area grabbing meteorites. And then that time I just got like 6 drops in a row or something. What's the best way to get gems right now, endgame? With the recent nerf to bosses and how much ectoplasm they give, and therefore currencies to convert to gems. The best way to grind for gems now is grinding bosses in main hub or ghost world and using their converters to convert the souls and ecto tokens you get to gems. So yeah, nope, the way to get gems is unchanged, even with a 10 times nerf, which is hilarious that it's still the best way to get gems. Especially with so many other ways to get gems in the game. Like, you have gem drops from ghosts, you have gems from, like, loot bags and all that stuff. You have gems from infinite quests. You have all that stuff, and it's still best way to do is the one they just nerfed by, like, 10 times. Let's see. What are we... Oh, we're still working on... No, we got the meteorites, so let's go grab tires and, construction site ghosts, I guess. Actually, this is a... Yeah. We'll come back in like 20 seconds. 10 seconds or something. Yeah, in addition to that, though, there is also now the potential of using an old strategy where you grind Rift Gum and then use it on thousands of anonymous, Jolly Roger, or race loot bags to get billions of gems. I don't think that strategy is actually useful yet, just because you don't get... Oh, we got 63 gems from that. Lovely. But yeah, no, I still think the best way to get gems is going to be using those bosses, using tycoons, all that stuff. It's just going to be a bit slower than before. It's about 10 times slower if you just grind in the same way with the current tycoons you have. Or alternatively, you can go for 3 times more tycoons and then go grind 3 times longer for the amount of gems, and you'd be able to get up to classifieds again. But yeah. Okay, we don't need those ghosts. We need these ghosts. Also, what levels are Hypnotize? I think our Hypnotize is at like level 10 or something. No, it's 7, 4, and 8. The funny thing is, because we are doing all these quests before we move on to Ghost World, we'll actually step into Ghost World with actually like really good pets. We'll have 8-bit plus Dragon plus Luna's Wisp pet, or Blaze's Spark's pet. They have the same stats as Dragon. But yeah, because that we'll actually be quite prepared for Ghost World. A lot more than people normally do, because usually they just jump straight into Ghost World once they get up to Nintendo level 10. Do I play games other than Roblox? Yes. I currently play a few games on Steam. Bloons TD 6 is one of them that I've played quite frequently. I do play a few games on my phone, like Brawl Stars, Defenders of Texel, chess a bit. But yeah. I actually don't play too many games other than Ghost Simulator and Roblox at the moment. Like, pretty much nothing other than Roblox. I've pretty much played nothing other than Ghost Simulator in the last year or two on Roblox, specifically. If you want to get the same rates as before in Ghost World, how many more Soul Tycoons, assuming you'd had 0, would you need to get the old rates? You'd need to get 30 to get the old rates, or like, or more likely the better strategy would be to get like something like 22 or so Soul Tycoons and like 5 Pet Evos or something like that, just to have the same rates as before. For 27 rebirths, but that's assuming you have none before. If you have like, assume you have like 10 rebirths or 10 Tycoons or something, to get the same rates as before, you'd be at 4 times at that point. You need to get up to 40 times. You need to get 36 more, so you need to get like 360%. You need to get. Is that seriously 120? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. You'd have to get 120 more rebirths. Is that actually how that works? Assuming you're just going into Tycoons. If you aren't just going into Tycoons, you probably only need to get like 90 or so if you're alternating with Pet Evo. But like, that's the thing. You don't need to get... Is it serious? Yeah, it has to be, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. So that's about 3. Yeah, okay, no. 30. No, 3 souls. I've won at Evo and 3 souls. But yeah, that's the thing. You don't need to get up to the same rates as you have before. In reality, you're better off just getting 3 times the Tycoons. And then, yeah, 3 times the Tycoons, and then, Highest.exe has stopped working. 3 times the Tycoons, and then grind for 3 times longer. So if you're at, let's say you're at 1 you're at 1 Evo and 3 souls. You are at a 190 times 1.05. I don't know where that maths out to. Okay, I guess I'll do the math really quick. Half of that, and then 95. You're about at a two times multiplier for the amount of gems you get from boss. So if you just get up to like a 6 times multiplier, and then grind, you'll just have to grind for 3 times longer to get the same amount of gems as before. So if you go for what is that now? Each one gives you about 31.5, 3, 6. If you get 6 more Tycoons, is it just 6? Yeah, if you get 6 more Tycoons, let's say 7. You get 7 more Tycoons, get up to 10 Tycoons, then grind for 3 times longer. while you're grind 3 times more bosses than before, you'd be getting the same amount of gems as before. So yeah. I don't know where you're at right now or where you're at before. So whether or not you'd still be able to grind like for classified the same way. You wouldn't be able to grind for the classified the same way, but yeah. That'd be what I suggest for you to do. If you want the same rates as before, you'd need to go ahead and go up to well, you got 2 times before, so now you need to go up to 20 times, so 18 times, which 60. You'd have to get 60 more rebirths if you wanted to get up to the same rates as before. So yeah, maybe not ideal to get up to the same rates as before, but getting up to a reasonable amount shouldn't be too hard. Like for me, I'd need to go ahead and get 21 more. Or my plan, if I ever do need to get that, which I don't think I'm going to worry about Extra Token Tycoons anymore. I'm going to wait until Remnant Tycoons come out and then worry about figuring out math and stuff. Or the Remnant Converter at least. But my strategy would be to get 21 more rebirths. I'm at 11 currently, so about tripling my rebirth count, and then I'd only have to spend triple the time. So instead of spending an hour to grind gems, I'd have to spend 3 hours to grind gems for a sandstorm. Which all said and done isn't actually too difficult. Like grinding 20 more rebirths for me wouldn't be too long. But yeah, hopefully you can make sense about what I just said. Yeah, a lot of, oh wait, we're literally already done, aren't we? How many tires did we grind over what we needed? Okay, we only grinded 20 extra tires, so that's not too bad. Wow, that's like 15 straight days of rebirth grinding. 60 times 6 divided by 24. Yeah. The thing is, you wouldn't do that straight. You'd probably do it like once a day. For 60 days would probably be the more accurate way of seeing it. Which is a lot of time. That is quite a bit of grinding. But like, I mean, it was that way before for getting classified, so the fact that it's returned to that amount isn't actually too surprising. Also, we need literally like 2 artifacts, if I remember correctly. Or just a whole lot of gems. I mean, gems are useful too, correct? There we go. Oh, do we not need artifacts? What? Oh, we already got our artifacts. I'm dumb. Yeah, most likely the best thing to do right now is if you want to grind the Remnant Zone area. You're getting leaderboard progression, you're getting Remnant tokens, which will probably be useful for Remnant Converter later. You're getting some gum that might be useful. I mean, if you're just grinding for gum, you're better off going in Backdoor. If you're just grinding for gems, you're better off going in Main Hotmart Ghost World. And if you're just grinding for like leaderboard, you're, yeah, better off going in Remnant Zone. But like, the fact that it combines all those stuff is actually really nice. So, yeah. Personally, we'll have enough time to grind Remnant Zone when the converter comes out, in my opinion. So there's really no reason to grind it in advance, because like either you're wasting your time and they decide to release Remnant Converter with actually a even worse rate than the current converters, or they release it with a good rate and you don't really even have enough gems anyways, just because you've only been grinding it like, I don't know, for like 30 hours or something. You do get a lot of gems, but someone else will be able to catch up to you with just grinding the gems anyways. So no reason to put upfront investment in the grind. Rather, might as well wait until to see what the rate actually is before you invest into it. All right, let's. There we go. could give you about 70 million, which isn't bad. The chests aren't useful, guys. Actually, they're reasonable. They aren't actually horrible. They aren't super useful, really. Just because you do need so many for classifieds and stuff. But yeah, they're definitely. It's definitely nice to have somewhat usable gem drops and stuff like that. Like they've been buffed a reasonable amount at this point. Oh wait, we're now stuck on buying distorted stuff. Lovely. Okay, done with Luna for now. We are going to go move on to. Oh wait, we only have one quest to move on to. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the gem drops in, like, the gem chest could even use more buffs. But it's nice that some players do find them useful. Or at least meaningful. I don't think useful is the right word. Because, like, yeah, 70 million gems is kind of cool, but you aren't getting classified with that. That's helpful. Like, you might be able to get a few godlies, which is cool, but the most expensive crate right now is, like, what? Million gems? No, 10 million gems. 5 million gems? It's a few million gems for the most. Yeah, it's 10 million. So you're getting like 7 in that crate. You're not going to be getting a classified with 70 million. That's I think that caps out. I think that caps out at like Sunny or something that you can actually get with that, which isn't bad actually. Getting a Sunny with literally 0 effort is kind of funny. I mean, you do need to get a rebirth and then grind up through Remnant Zone, which is kind of hard, but at the same time, it's not that hard or insane to do. Like, a lot of people are up at that point anyways. What are you doing, Cat? I don't know if you guys can even see her in the background. You guys probably could. You can get the main hoverboard classifieds, which is cool. Yeah. Oh, actually, we're going to be able to upgrade our vacuum now, which is going to be really nice. Actually, let's go do that really quick. Sell, shop, vacuums, void, vacuum, boom. That'll actually help a decent amount with how boring it is. It's not quite a double to my vacuum rate, but any increase to that is going to feel a lot better. We are out of vacuum gum though, so grinding will probably slow down a little bit now that we've consumed all of those. All right. What are the last items we do? Oh, I really should just go through it, shouldn't I? I should figure out if I need pearls, because pearls is one of those items that I can actually pearls and doubloons are both some items I can convert for decent amounts of gum. So if I end up not needing them for like future quests, I might end up just going ahead and converting them to gum for Hans's quest and for grinding reasons. Alright, actually, let me go take a quick look at what Finsley will have. Go Simulator Wiki. Search. Finsley. Finsley. Ghost Hunter Captain Finsley. Quests. We're on... Alright. Next quest is... Next quest is something I normally meme about, but because of the last update, we're actually going to be able to do it correctly. The next quest after that is 15 of each rare ghost, and then 150 of each item. So we're going to be saving some of our doubloons and some of our pearls, at least, for that. And diamonds, I guess, too. But yeah. Yeah, about we need 150 of each. Or at least that's what the wiki says. Wiki might be wrong. As someone that maintains the wiki, I can say that devs do change stuff and we don't notice for a while. But anyways. Alright, let's go see. Where's this health eyes? Oh, it's full health, isn't it? Yeah, we're just going to ignore that. No reason to worry about it. It's interesting how we're stuck on these ones, the vacuums and pack quests. We're going to be stuck on those for a while, I'd imagine. But yeah, basically our next progression point is either going to be... Actually, we can turn in about 100 doubloons right now, which should give us about 6 gums. I'm just trying to figure out whether or not we can turn in... Actually, we might need doubloons for Luna's quest. Actually, we're ways away from Luna's quest. We aren't going to be getting that anytime soon, since we do need the... Since we do need the distorted stuff for hers, that's going to be the most expensive stuff. We're probably just better off just straight up converting, not worrying about our next few quests. Since, yeah. Getting like XCOM to be able to speed up our progress for currency is probably going to be more efficient than saving the items for whenever we get to our quests later. Alright, let's go convert about 100 of these doubloons. Or exactly 100, because that's kind of the efficient rate. Basic XCOM, no... Alright, yeah. Actually, do we have hammers? Lots of hammers? No, we don't. Just trying to figure out what way we could get a decent amount of gum from items with, because we do need to convert gum for Hans's quest, And having a little bit more gum will be helpful for actually completing a lot of the quests that we have with the vacuums and packs and stuff. I guess we could also spend some time working on or unboxing a few more pet crate number 3s to try to get a dragon. Just on the off chance we do get a dragon and we can upgrade our pet team up to actually like really good pets. Like if we do manage to get like a dragon or even like a magic rabbit, this would be like really worthwhile. So this is going to be like an uncommon. Yeah, we don't have that many gems. We have about 10 crates or so of this. Let me just go check. Auto delete commons should be probably enabled since we have got the commons in our journal done, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, all we're missing is the legendary and godly. And then we can probably also clean up our inventory a little bit. Trash. If we do manage to get either Magic Rabbit or Dragon, that'd actually be really insane, to be honest. Since I think either of those will actually upgrade our pet stats. I mean, it's not going to be super good because like we are really only going from like 8 to 9 or something like that. Even if we do end up getting like a dragon, it's not super insane buff, but it would be helpful nonetheless. It's more going to be helpful for us making progress towards the 8-bit, because that's actually going to have pretty good stats where we're at right now. I think it has like 3 or so cell stats, which is, you know, not the best. Definitely. Ooh, nice. We got a Magic Rabbit. So now we'll get a ding if we ever do unbox a dragon. So, yeah. We know we aren't getting a dragon unless we get the ding right at the beginning. But anyways, that should be actually an improvement to our stats. Yeah, look at that. Small improvement. But it is improvement nonetheless. Now all of our pets have over a 2x cell stat, which is kind of nice. All this immediately gets out in class if I entered like any code. But you know, we aren't doing that for this stream because, you know, rules and all, and the challenge, it's supposed to be a challenge. But yeah, all right, how close are we to getting the next pack and vac set? Let me go check. Site nav, gameplay, packs and vacuums. All right. Next one is going to cost us 200,000 ecto tokens. Lovely. So yeah, we're a ways away from our next upgrade for our vacuum and pack. Which is actually kind of annoying. Like they aren't even that helpful. And we're stuck in main hub until we get these, though, too. Is the interesting thing. Like, normally if in a playthrough, you'd go ahead and immediately upgrade, go into Ghost World, and then Ghost World would probably be your next upgrade with Hot Rod Vacuum and Hot Rod Pack. But I think in this case, we are kind of at that point where, because of this challenge, we are required to go ahead and complete quests before we can move on to Ghost World. And our quests right now do require us to get those vacuums and packs, so we are kind of stuck here. All right, we do only need a few more miner and worker ghosts and explorer ghosts though for Finslee, so we should be able to progress on that. The next few quests aren't actually that bad for Finslee either. It's about 15 rare ghosts is probably going to be the most. Actually, 150 items is going to be kind of a lot, but you know. Once we get there, we'll see. All right. 6 more miner ghosts, 4 more miner ghosts. Alright, and then we need to go to worker ghosts. Ten of these. Hopefully there's 10 spawns so we can just kind of breeze through here without having to wait for them to respawn. Yep, 10 ghost head spawns, so we're done with that. I'm debating if I want to go ahead and use the glitchy loot gum I got from getting lucky from converting on the... Probably not, just because we vacuum ghosts so slowly. Like, if we vacuum ghosts faster than this, it'd probably be worthwhile to use loot gum. But as it stands, we'd probably only be able to get like 4 or 5 or like 10 or so ghosts in the time it takes us to use the glitchy loot gum, so we do not really make profit on our gum slides, but yeah. Ghost Sim. Yep. Ghost Sim does get quite slow at sometimes. Like, it doesn't surprise me that this game is dying sometimes when I'm playing through. When I'm playing through it like this, it really reminds me about how boring this game is. It's like, wow, I'm like one of the people who plays this game the most in some people's eyes. I'm not. But like, I've played through this game a lot, and I'm getting bored at this. New players are going to be struggling even more than this in most cases. Like, I'm 8 hours in, and I'm not even up to anything new. I'm literally everything I've played through right now is stuff that was included in the first update of this game. Nothing new, nothing interesting, nothing that the latest update is going to affect have I seen. And really that's kind of annoying. For a new player, you'd want to be able to access new content. You don't want to be stuck on like the stuff that they released in the first update when we're at day 132, and you're literally stuck where we were 4 years ago, for 8 hours. And then you slowly start to get to see some of the stuff that they released 3 years ago, then 2 years ago, and to get actually up to the stuff that they released this update. You generally have to literally play through 70 or 80 hours of gameplay. Now, I'm trying to think about how other games solve this problem. And like what I keep seeing is like not events, but like boosts, like double drop, double, triple, 10 times strength or whatever. And it's literally stupid when they do that. It's more what that kind of really is kind of a 10 time, just nerf everything by 10 and just call it a rebalance or something, instead of just giving slowly increasing the multiplier of every single event, every update. We're like, oh yeah, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times to make it easier for new players to get in. Instead of that, you nerf the early game by that amount, or nerf everything by that amount or whatever. If that's your true intention, is just to have new players get into the game with that. But yeah. But yeah, this is the quest I was talking about before. Usually when you get this quest in Ghost Simulator, it's kind of a meme quest, like before last update. Because you would literally get from 10 million Ecto tokens, you would get 1 gem. The convert rate was like 9.8 or something like that. Correct me if I'm like completely off base with that convert ratio. But like nowadays, you can actually, like 10 million gems will actually get you a reasonable amount of gems. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm getting over about 1,000 gems from this. Like, it's not a horrible amount. And it's actually very close to the amount of gems you need to collect. So that's one of the really nice things about this change, is that converter is actually reasonably useful for smaller amounts that the game was originally meant to be with. Also another thing it kind of balances out, I don't know if this makes it really hard to get, is these unlockable boards. Specifically, like the Splice, where you normally have to get like a lot of Ecto tokens for it. This used to be like trivial to get, because you just get the bigger packs, and then it'd just be super easy to get. But yeah, now this will be actually a challenge to get. I don't know if it'll be like impossible for new players to get, but it'll be actually pretty similar to. It made Ghostly harder to get too. It would be very similar to the other mythicals, where they're actually difficult to get. Anyways, I think for the last few gems, we'll go ahead and unbox one of these, or 2 of them, just to have an even amount. Sorry, even on my alts, I can't see odd amounts of boss chests and stuff. I so used to having the double drops, double boss drop stuff that I always want to have multiples of 2 of my boss items. But yeah, here we are. We're on to 15 of each rare ghost from these areas. I think this is actually good time to be... I hope I don't regret this. I think this is a good time to be using the double loot drops, just to hopefully get enough items to be able to convert for some more gum. Just hopefully making some gum profit. Like, I don't need the item drops specifically, but I do need gum at some point, so, yeah. Hopefully this does make gum profit. Yeah, I don't think this will. This may have been a mistake. At the very least, though, we should have enough items to be able to convert for the last few gums I need for Hans. Which then we can go ahead and use the boss gum and do a boss for Hans to be able to go ahead and move on to just getting one of every gum from him, which should be somewhat helpful too, because, you know, gums are actually useful. Just wondering, does 15% boss max amount, Inkle max amount still apply? I think so. I haven't tried it with, like, my, main account, but I'm fairly sure it is still 15% for the maximum amount. Just maximum amount got nerfed on the amount of ectoplasm it gives. Oh, it takes longer than 5 seconds for me to vacuum a ghost in here. Alright. Yeah, let's go see if that actually was a good call. Let's go see how much gum we can get from that. Boss at 30%? I see, okay. Yeah, let's go see if I can really quickly, yeah, just keep vacuuming that boss. I don't really care. How much items do we have? Okay, let's convert 50 of that, 50 of that, insert those, collect this. Oh, 2 basic loot gum. Basic boss gum. Excellent, here's your reward. Go use, fight a boss. Perfect. And then hopefully you've been vacuuming that thing and it's down to like whatever percent. But yeah, I don't actually care about getting like full ectoplasm from this, to be honest. I more of just care about using it for this quest. Yeah. Got 50%, I don't. Alright, there we go. And now we can return to Hans, and we are done with Hans's quest, which is one of the 5 quests I'm working on right now done with, which is kind of nice. That should give us like one of every type of gum, so we should get lucky gum, gem gum, all that lovely stuff from him. New friend, you earned your reward. Basic lucky gum, because of gem gum, vacuum, and a loot gum. So a lot of actually somewhat useful gums. Unlike the one we're using right now, which is pretty much useless until you get up to final boss. Imagine Rift Gum. Yeah, imagine it. Yeah, if he gave you a Rift Gum, that would be a bit overpowered. No, instead he gives you Gem Gum, which is like the worst gum in the game. Alright. Oh, that's a lot of penguins. I will definitely take those penguins. I don't know what happened to the journal or why it's like that, but it's kind of funny. Common, legendary, godly. This used to be like super organized. I don't know what they did that messed with it. Like some of them still work, like these ones. But then it goes back to broken and broken and broken, 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 fixed, fixed. Alright, let's go track this quest. That's what I keep going into here for. 9 parrots, 2 mermaids, 15 magmas. That I need. Alright. We probably should be alternating between mermaids and magmas at this point, just because those are probably the ones. Those are the two that are close together, rather than like whatever I'm doing right now, but. Alright. Sell. Yeah, I'm probably going to be done with like parrots without even noticing. Alright, we'll probably be doing about another... Actually, I probably need to check to make sure I've actually left off at 6 hours on my last streams. Because it may have been 8 hours, and so we're ending up, like... I'm just massacring what time we're actually at. You know, I started today at... Races about to join... Do I want to join a race? I do want to join a race, don't I? My frame rates have given up on this race. Alright, there we go. Second place. Easter Racing Loot Bag, and now we immediately unbox it because we are a gremlin for gems. Great key and gems. Lovely. Yay, you beat someone. Yep. You're yeah. That's a funny thing about races. They're actually kind of a mess in some respects. Like, They're a little bit better now with the racing coins. It distracts a little bit people, so there is a little bit more incentive to go super quick, and so times actually somewhat matter. But like before, a lot of it was literally lag, and like you could be like way behind someone but still show up in front of them just because of the internal timer. For it, how it calculates how fast you go just is off for some reason. Like I know one time I did a really good race on stream, I think too. I don't remember what stream it was, but I did a really good race, but someone beat that time by like whole half a second, and it was like, wait, what? There was not half a second to game there. It's just because the timer that they use for calculate can be super swayed by like lag and stuff. It's kind of weird. Yeah, blame the race, not the skill. It's also a little bit of a lag issue, and also me stopping caring and being bad at races too a little bit, but for the most part, races are kind of just whack. Like the funny thing too is like it really doesn't matter which place you get either most of the time. Like a little bit on normal races you care about getting first over second or third, but like in the Easter race, getting first, second, or third gives you the same reward. Boss at 35%. I don't care. Bosses matter 0 to me right now. I'm working on ghosts, and then once I'm done with those ghosts, I need to worry about items, and then once I'm done with those items, I need to then I can worry about ghosts or bosses. Alright, I think we are done with Parrot Ghost. Yes, we are done with Parrot Ghost. Okay, I won't notify you. Yeah, thank you. Let's go ahead, use some more vacuum gum. Now, the interesting question at this point I'm having is whether or not I spend my crate keys on pet crate number 3 or not, because in theory I should save them for later pet crates where I might have more of a challenge, like pet crate 7 or something in Ghost World, but I don't really know. Well, so how much X-Gum do I have? I have a lot of X-Gum. That was a surprise. I was expecting to see like 2 or 3 X-Gum, but 4 X-Gum is going to be pretty nice. Might actually mean that we can get up to the next pack soon. Maybe even before we finish Finsley, we can upgrade our pack. Oh my word. I just noticed how much of a jump it is from our next pack to the one after that. We might be stuck here in main hub for a while just working on getting up to the distorted packs and vacs for Luna. Although if we do end up getting like 8-bit and stuff, that's actually going to be a pretty good boost to our stats as it is. So yeah. I know we'll probably end up finishing up Finsley for this stream. I'm calling that good. So this quest, next quest to Finsley, and then calling it good for this stream. Which probably means we won't be able to get our next pack or vac. But yeah, we will have multiple streams, which will make things go a little bit quicker for ghost grinding. I saw that. All right, we're gonna go ahead. You know, I'm not gonna even complain too much about it. It is quite helpful to have those ghosts low in health sometimes. All right, we'll go ahead and grab this. There is one more penguin ghost I see, so we'll grab that one too. And then we're done with penguin ghosts, and I think we're actually done with tusks. Yes, we are done with tusks. So we are done with this area. Actually, are we done with all the items? No, we're nowhere near done with the magma monster items, diamonds, whatever they're called. But yeah, we are done with tusks, mermaid stuff, and doubloons. So all we need to have left to do is grab mermaids, grab magma monsters, and then maybe grind a few diamonds, and we'll be done with Finsley, which means I don't know, 3 streams we've managed to get through all of main hub, which isn't too bad. I don't know if that's actually 8.5 hours or if it's 10.5 hours because I spent 4 hours on my previous streams, but you know, I'll go back and check before we continue this timer being off, but yeah. I don't even know how I did that. It wasn't showing up on my screen. Yeah, occasionally the overcharge gets glitched. Like, I don't have overcharge equipped. But like if you open an inventory or click something on an inventory, it'll register the click of the button, but not like the depress of the button. Or, no, depress is just clicking on it. Like the release of the button, so it'll start the overcharge and then continue to trigger it. Like if you do that or something. Yeah. It's actually a pretty normal thing to happen. To be honest, I'm not not going to complain too much about overcharging and stuff like that. Bosses spawn, no one cares about bosses. Yeah, we're gonna need quite a few diamonds, I think. But yeah, we should be pretty close to done with this quest. Then we'll just need to maybe even use like loot gum on these ghosts. Just trying to determine if using loot gum. You know what? Actually, using loot gum's not a bad idea. I think we'll go ahead and do it. As long as we're grabbing like mermaids and stuff for. Yeah, as long as we're grabbing these ghosts, we should be able to convert some items. Also, we don't have double range, so I can't do my normal grind speed on this. Ooh, 10 diamonds. Alright, how much more do we need? We have 47 right now. We're going to need a lot of additional diamonds, I think. Maybe if we get lucky, we won't, but yeah, most likely the diamonds will be the limiting factor on our on complete, or well, it's definitely going to be the limiting factor. But I think it's going to take longer than getting the last 3 magma monsters. Can we get a few ghosts before this time runs out? No. Oh, we got one. Alright. We're just going to go ahead and grab the mermaids and then go grab the magma monsters because we only need a few of those. So there should be enough spawned. And then we'll see about diamonds because... Alright, 3 magma monsters should be 1, 2, 3 somewhere. Okay. Probably we'll go check in that corner. But yeah, this stream we've definitely made a little bit of progress. We've got like half of Luna done. Finished the rest of Finsley. Completed pawns. So it's definitely been a productive stream. Yeah. This is definitely taking longer than I was expecting to get through main hub for this challenge, because when you play through main hub on a rebirth, it takes less than an hour to get all the way through main hub. So it's a lot slower than in your first playthrough, like 10 or 20 times slower to get through this game on your first playthrough. But yeah, we are pretty much done with Captain Finsley. We have one more quest where we need like 70 more diamonds or something. Yeah, 72 exactly. Which we'll go ahead and burn some more loot gum for, just to make it a little bit quicker. And yeah, once I'm done with this, we'll go ahead and end the stream. And yeah. Probably I'll end up doing a stream in the next few days where I continue on my main account grinding for the Easter event. Yeah, so expect that in a few days, another stream on the Easter event. If not, I don't know, I'll probably be doing some off-stream grinding at the very least. So yeah, because I plan on getting at least one of the 350 mythicals from this event. And I'm at like 230, 240 keys or something like that. So I need about 10 more something bosses, or 5 or something. No, 5 more large events, about 15 more cycles of the invasion, which is a few hours of grinding. Hey, by the way, yes, won the poll. Yeah, the poll's been going on for so long at this point, I gave up caring about it. I added the timer a while ago. Whether or not it's actually accurate, I don't know. I started it at 6 hours and like 10 minutes or something. At this, like, 10 minutes into the stream. Or 6:30 or something, 6:40. But yeah, I started at like 6 hours and 40 minutes. Like 40 minutes or 30 minutes into the stream. So it's been about 2 hours since I started it. So yeah, whether or not this is the accurate time on how long I've been playing on this account, that is questionable. Yeah, we'll go ahead, sell now. Then we'll return to Captain Hunter Finsley. And yeah, we now have multi-streams, which is going to be actually really helpful since we are kind of struggling with ghosts, so it will effectively triple the speed we can vacuum ghosts. Which is a really good perk for new players or old players or pretty much everyone, so yeah. Multiple streams unlocked. But yeah, now we are stuck in main hub until we complete Blaze and Luna and Dylan, so that will be the next thing that we work on once we once we return to the stream. But for now, we will be ending the stream here. We'll probably unbox 3 crates just to see if we can get like super lucky or something silly. Or 2 crates, I guess. Because I don't have enough gems for a 3rd one. But yeah. Yesterday ended at 6 hours, 23 minutes, and 23 seconds. Okay. So we need to add about 12 minutes to this timer. Or maybe more. So, I don't know, 9 hours on the next stream, we'll say. But yeah, for now, 9 hours to complete Fincely is not too bad. I mean, it's pretty bad, but it's progress. Next quest we will need to work on is going to be Blaze, since we do need to get Chroma stuff first, and then Destroyers after that. But yeah, we're pretty much now stuck on just grinding Ectotokens. We have about 1/3 of what we need for the first one, so 1/6 of where we need to be. So yeah, X-Gum's going to be useful. Yeah. I want to just unbox all those. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a future stream. Thank you guys for coming.